Who's on the phone?
We've got the Hall of Fame coach Larry Brown, SMU coach.
Larry, how are you?
I'm good. I wish I was in Monterey.
Okay, I have one of my guys, McLovin, who dressed as you when you wore your overalls during the ABA days. Might be the only person dressing up at Halloween as Larry Brown. That's circa, 1972 in the ABA days. Why did you wear the overalls on the sidelines?
Because I couldn't get a Batwoman costume.
That wasn't for Halloween.
No, I was going to work. So, I figured if you're going to work, you might as well wear overalls. By the way, they sent me the picture and tell him he looked great.
Oh, McLovin, there you go.
I told you, I nailed him.
No, you did. You did. He wanted to get a mullet. He said you had a mullet back then, Larry, as far as your hair goes.
I had a lot more hair then, and it was a lot darker than it is now. So,
give me your best ABA story that maybe defines the ABA.
Wow, there's so many. My best story is I got to room with Doug Moe for a long time, and there's no better guy or more interesting person in the world. But the first game, I guess I was captain, and we were playing the Denver Rockets at the time. And then they had a guy. We met at half court, the captains, and they had a guy named Lefty Thomas, who scored 35 the first game he played, and he got cut after the second game. But he had a ring on every one of his fingers on his left hand, and I guess that's why they called him Lefty. And they allowed him to play with that.
Wait, he played with rings on his hand?
Yeah. That was the ABA, and then the other one. The referee, I'll give you two other ones.
Okay.
The head referee was a guy named Monk Moyers, who was a roller derby referee before that. When they had Tuffy Berzoon and the Brooklyn, Brooklyn Bombers, I think they had. And then the second great one is we were playing the Jersey Americans, and the girl that was the mascot for the Jersey Americans had a star of every state, and she had to be huge to have all 50 of them on. And we went to half court, and at that time you only had two referees. Well, one of the referees had an Izod shirt on, and a referee didn't show up, and the coach of the New Jersey Americans was Matt Sadlowski, and he said, "Hey, we didn't have two referees, so I got one of my friends to referee." True story.
Oh, God. I tell these guys, I got to see, certain guys in the ABA, including Dr. J, the Kentucky Colonels, Billy Cunningham, Johnny Newman, Marvin Barnes. I was fortunate. That was just fun basketball. It was chaos, but, it was great to look at it from afar. But I tell people what Dr. J was in the NBA was nothing what he was like in the ABA. He would have been Jordan before Jordan. People would have freaked out if they saw just how great he was in the ABA.
No, Dan, you're absolutely right. And there were a lot of other guys that, George Gervin, David Thompson, before they got in the NBA, they were beyond belief. So many players. Billy Cunningham, I got to coach Billy before he had the kidney problem. I've never seen a player have a better year than he had. Rick Barry, before he hurt his knee, was the most athletic, white guy I'd ever seen. And he was, as great as he was in the NBA, he was phenomenal in the ABA. There were so many stories. And I remember, I got to coach an ABA NBA All-Star game in the Superdome, the Astrodome, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And the game was like 123, 122. And if you'd have looked at the talent in the ABA, you couldn't have distinguish between which league was better.
I agree.
And this was early on.
Hey, it's thanks for being a good sport calling in. We'll check in with you during the regular season, and always great to hear from you, Larry.
Thanks so much. Happy holidays.
All right, that's Larry Brown, SMU head coach.